Hello, Stitchy friends. Welcome to my FlossTube channel. My name is Joanne and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome. This is a channel all about cross stitching. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning subscriber and viewer, thank you so much for your continued support and for continuing to interact with me, whether it's on Instagram or down below in the comments. Thank you. So I have quite a bit of things to share with you today. Today is Saturday, April 4th. I have not been here in about a month now. I don't know why. I've been prepared to record, but life is life and things happen. So I am so glad to be here with you today. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate Easter. It is tomorrow. This whole weekend is all about Easter. So hopefully you're spending time with family and enjoying the celebrations. So I have lots of things I want to share with you. I have finishes. I have 2 finishes to share with you. I have 3 new starts and 5 whips. So I've been fairly busy. Some of these whips I've, worked on it more than a few days, so not a whole lot, but I really like it when I can keep it down to maybe 10 whips to show in a video. So you're going to see that. I have some happy mail that I received in the mail today and some that I've received along the last week or so. So I will share that with you. I'll let you know what plans I have in the coming month and just kind of chat with you for a little bit. So let's get started. So let's start with finishes. So my first finish is, excuse me there, Sweet Land of Liberty. And this is an Annabella's chart that I received from a friend. And I stitched this, I want to say this is a 16 count Aida, just a piece of fabric that I had. And one of the things that I am doing is I'm going to be participating in a patriotic small exchange with my Discord group. And this may be one of those pieces that I use. I don't know yet, but this is going to be going off to Miss Peggy at Crafty Framers in Largo, Florida, who is my LNS, and she will finish it up for me. I don't know what, but I usually give her my finishes and I say, here you go, do as you like. Just don't make any pillows. But because this is not going for me, if she wants to make this into a pillow, that's fine with me too. So that's Sweet Land of Liberty. This next one, I had worked on it for quite a bit of time. And I thought I forgot what it was, but this is a finish that I was so excited to finish. This is Jardin Purvey. She has 4 seasons. This is summer. Now, if you've seen her chart, if you've seen this before, the word summer is stitched below either in French or in English. However, I did not decide to do that. And I explained, I think in my last video when it was still a whip, that I am going to finish all 4 of these together. However, I don't know that I want the words underneath there. So to me, this is a finish. And I really love this. I did this on a 25 count Lugana 1/1. So yes, it is small. As you can see, there's a lot of fabric there. And that's because when I originally started it, I did not think I was going to do 1/1. It just kind of said, hey, let me try this and see what happens. So, but yeah. So it's finally a finish. I've been working on this, I think, for a couple of years. And with finishing this, I started spring. Why not? So this is spring. I have just a little start. Still not a whip to me unless it has 200 stitches. I don't consider it a whip. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if my lighting is okay. This one I'm also doing on a 25 count Lugana. I am going to do all 4 of them the same, 1/1 on this white Lugana. And so I have a little star. And is that bug not the cutest little thing? Look at that. What is this on my chart? So there's one of my first new starts. I am stitching this with DMC colors, and it is the called for colors. The nice thing about these charts is that they all have the same color palette. So once I get done with one, I just take my floss and put it in the other. So it's great. It's worked out great, and I love it. This next whip, maybe this is a start. Yes, this is a start. So I wanted to share this. So when I went to the library to stitch last month, the lady that runs the group, she had some stuff on the freebie table. And it amazes me at the things that stitchers give away. But she had some project bags, and I picked this up off the table. I just thought this was the cutest bag ever. This is by So Much to Love. Apparently it's an Etsy, from an Etsy shop. But I got this, and I thought it was really cute. And so I have put, and then on the inside it's just regular, well, it does have pattern. It's a white fabric, but it does have pattern that is similar to this, but it's all white. So I just wanted to share that. This is kind of like a, I'm going to call this Happy Mail because, when you pick things up at the freebie table, that to me is Happy Mail. So in that bag, I have this chart. This is an Ode to Libraries, and it's by Heartstring Samplery. I am stitching this on a 25 count Lugana by Swiker on French Country Mocha. Wanda, who's one of my Discord group buddies, friends, stitchers, she posted that she would be stitching this chart in the month of March for her birthday stitch. She is also doing this as a remembrance of her mother who loved to read and loved to go to libraries. So when I saw her post this, I decided I wanted to join in. I don't read books. I think libraries are great. I am not a reader, but I thought this chart was the cutest chart. And when I stitch this, I am going to possibly frame it and give it to my coworker who has the book club in our department with our students and enjoys to read. So I think this will be perfect for her. So why not? These ladies on Discord love to stitch. And I'm stitching this with DMC floss. This does come, it is charted with other things, other floss like Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works, but to me, I'm doing the floss conversion of it. So, but yeah, so these ladies on Discord, when they start things, we have Designer of the Month stitching. We have, okay, sorry about that. I had to take a quick break and I don't know where I was. So let's continue. I have another start. And this I found in my stash. This was a kit that I bought at Crafty Framers sometime last year. And I thought, well, it's already kitted up. Why not start it? So here it is. It's called Autumn Adobe or Adobe. I just call them Autumn Owl, and it's by Pine Mountain Designs. Like I said, this wasn't a kit, and it's on a 14 count Aida color beige. And I just started it just because it was kitted. I have bought this because I thought it was cute. And so I started it. I haven't removed it from the little hoop because it's a little one. I just left it on the hoop. But the neat thing about this is that it came with that frame. So when I get done, all I have to do is pop it in that frame and it's ready to go. So I don't fully finish things, but I think I can handle this one. It doesn't look like it's too much of a work to do other than just pop it in there. So hopefully in the next video you will see this as a finish. We'll see. Um, so that was my last start, and the next 5 whips are my whips, which are work in progress. If you're not sure what the acronym means whips, WIPS, works in progress. This first whip really should be finished, but I don't know what's taking me forever to finish it. But this is one of my favorite whips, favorite charts by Katarina, who's the Stitchy Princess. This is called Magical Forest, and I am stitching this on a 14 count Ada by Swaggart, color medium green, and I'm stitching it with all the DMC colors. I forgot that this one, because it's a little bit bigger, the chart is covering. So let me move that out of the way. And here it is. So when I last picked it up this week, I stitched this guy here, the little bear. Oh, and I started the mama bear down here, but I was out of town on a work trip and I did not realize that I didn't have enough of that brown color, so that's where I left off. I don't know if this lighting is good or not. There it goes. So it's almost done. All I need is to finish this piece here, and it's done. So this is one of the charts that I have on my year whips. If you are not familiar with year whips, oh goodness, I just forgot her name. The Soulful Stitcher, she does what's called year whips. And so you pick, this year was you pick a minimum of whips that you want to finish this year, and you're required to finish at least half of that. So of course I went with 6, and I'm going to finish 3. I've already finished 1, which was the Jardin Privé, and this is going to be my next one that I'll finish hopefully here soon. But I love this. I love this chart. The last time I showed this, I had not stitched, I noticed when I was doing the video that I had not stitched that little dog there, so I stitched that, and then I moved over here and I stitched that section there. So yeah. So that is that. This next one is called Colors of Fall. It's by Robin Pickens. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Ada color white with all the DMC colors. And when I last picked this up, I stitched this and I started on this leaf over here. And I think in my last video I had mentioned that I missed a stitch here, so I actually have 1 row missing here. But you know what? You really cannot tell it's a leaf. Unless you're really looking at it up close, you can't tell that the stem is not in the middle, but that's because I'm missing a row. But I'm not going to unstitch it. I'm not going to frog it out and stitch it just because. I think it looks just fine like that. What do you think? Or should I? But I really like this. I think the colors on this is really cute. And so yeah, so I just did a little bit of there. Usually when I pick up my whips, when they are selected, now I do use a random wheel generator, which actually just recently, we had spring break 2 weeks ago, so I was off of work for a week. Yay! I love working for the school. Well, I work with a college here in my town. And so we were closed for spring break, which was nice. And I was able to get a lot of stitchy stuff organized and, you know, kind of update some of my sheets because I've noticed that I've just kind of slack keeping up to date with with keeping records. So got all that done, and so I was able to stitch quite a bit. But one of the things that I did, I do use a random wheel generator where I select whips to stitch on whatever day. Normally, when I stitch on a whip, I would stitch on it from anywhere from 2 days to 3 days. Sometimes 4 days, depending, but usually 3 days is the max, and then I changed it out. So sometimes I get quite a bit done, sometimes I don't, just depends on what day it is and what's going on while I'm stitching. But one of the things that I did during spring break is I updated my wheel generator. I have a lot of whips that are back from 21, 22, 23, and I really want to get those whips going and done if possible. Some of them are big, so I'm not going to get them done. But one of the things I did is now, which is call me crazy, I know, I think I do too much, but I just enjoy doing these things, you know. But now I have a wheel. I have one wheel that has the years on there. So there'll be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So that wheel just has the years listed. And then I have a wheel for each year. And in each year wheel, I have only the whips that I started during that year. So of course in 2021, I think I only have like 7 or 8 whips compared to what I have in 2025 or 26 where I have a lot. So all my whips, depending on what year I started it, go into each of the year's wheels. So get where I'm going here? So I've got, I don't know, 7, 8 wheels. And so first I will spin the year wheel, whatever wheel or whatever year the wheel stops, then I go to that wheel for that year. So let's say it's 23. So then I go to the 23-year wheel, I spin that, and whatever whip comes up, that's what I'm going to stitch for that day. I know. It's crazy, right? I don't know why I organize things like that, why I do that, you know, but I like it. It's crazy. I don't know. It keeps me busy. It's one thing I love doing is sheets and spreadsheets and charts. And so, yeah, I do spend quite a bit of time organizing things. And, you know, that may be what I'm doing now, but in 6 months, 7 months, I don't know, 3 weeks, I may change it up. I don't know. So anyways, so that's what I do. And I know I'm supposed to be talking about whips, but I just got to thinking about that when I noticed that, hey, I didn't do a whole lot, but I did quite a bit in the couple days that I stitch on that. So anyways, let's keep going. This next whip, I've been stitching on this for a little bit, but I don't stitch on it a lot. So this is USA Gnome by Wonderland UA, although I think now they changed their name to Wonderland UK or something like that. But they're an Etsy shop, and I started this back in 2024. Laura, who's stitching by the shore, stitches these gnomes. She loves to stitch the gnomes, and when I saw her stitching, then of course I got unable to stitch them myself. And what I like about what she does is, now I'm not going to stitch the background. So why? Because Laura doesn't stitch the backgrounds. What she does is she tries to find a piece of fabric that matches the background, so all she has to do is stitch the gnome. So that's one of the things that I'm doing with this. It's not a whole lot. I am stitching this on an 18 count Aida. The color's Cascade, and I'm stitching this, I believe I'm stitching this 1/1. Yes. And this is Fabrics by Stephanie. I don't have a whole lot of fabrics by Stephanie, but I do have a couple, and I really like her fabrics. They're nice. They're really nice. I know Laura does a lot of stitching with her fabrics. So yeah. So this is the reason why I stitched this. Now, I think there's like 40 in this series of gnomes. Because they have for each season, and they have like 3 different ones for each season. So this is the girl, and then there's a boy that I think is holding a flag or something like that. But I thought she was really cute, and I wanted to stitch her. Do I work on it a lot? No. I mean, I started this back in 2024, and when I picked it up this last time, I did work on this bottom piece here. And believe it or not, there's a lot. I think there's like 3 shades of red and 3 shades of blue in there, maybe 2. There's 2. So there's a lot of confetti stitches, and I do have this on Pattern Keeper because it's so much easier to keep track of this. Even though this is not a, full coverage chart, still, I found it easier to put it on Pattern Keeper. So yeah. So it will be nice. I think the next time I pick this up, I'm probably going to start working on the nose and work on this down here. Just because I like to change it up. Like, to me, I will get bored just stitching this on, I have to move around and add some more color and more things to this so that it stays fun and I can work on it. So that is that. This next whip is Red Panda. Is he not the cutest little thing? Red Panda, it was number 5 of the Endangered Species Club that Lindy Stitches had in 2024 or 25. So I'm stitching this on an 18 count Aida, the color Silver Moon. This, when I joined the club, and I would get the chart in the mail and the fancy floss. So this has Weeks, Dye Works, and DMC. Okay. And so I picked it up in December of 2025. I've stitched on it a couple of times. Now when I picked it up again, I finished this phase and I stitched these up here. Yes, I do need to fill that in. One thing that I found that I've been doing is that when I have a chart that has a lot of filling like that, I like to do the outline first, and then I can just go in and just fill in. I don't necessarily take these types of whips to a retreat, but it's always nice that when I'm on Discord and we're chit-chatting or talking, those are easy to just stitch and go across and not really have to think about much counting. But this last time I did pick it up and I finished this phase, and I think his face is so cute. Look at that. So yeah, so I have all of her Endangered Species Club charts. I do have 2 others started. I have the elephant and then I have the elephant started. I have the leopard started and the tiger. The first one that came out, I do have it. So you'll see those sometime in the next few months. Hopefully they'll come up in the random wheel generator. And this last whip, I think you actually saw this in my last video. This is Halloween Quaker, but I actually did a little bit of work on it this last week. This is by Lila's Studio, and this was this whip that I received from one of my stitchy friends on Discord, who is Steph. She's Late Girl Stitches. She does have a FlossTube. I don't know that she's recorded recently, but she gave this to me. So she stitched on this. This is a 16 count Aida. The color of this, I don't know, I don't know if this color, it's a purplish, it's got light purple and dark purple in it. It's very pretty. She doesn't remember what the dyer's name is. She didn't know, who dyed it, but it is a 16 count Aida. When I received it, all of this was done except for the bats and this here. Oh, and this bird wasn't done. So this was about halfway done. So I finished the bird and I started on this that I worked on. Now, here's one thing that I realized last week, that her and I stitch backwards. No, not backwards. Our top stitch goes the opposite way. And I didn't realize that until I started stitching this. And I'm like, hold on a minute, this doesn't look right. So I'm looking and I'm looking. Well, sorry, Steph girl, you stitched backwards, okay? I know we had this conversation on Discord earlier this week, and that we were going back and forth. No, you're backwards, I'm backwards. No, it's the other way around. But this is a challenge for me. I love this. But this is a challenge for me because I have to train my mind to go the opposite way. It is weird because I never stitch her way, So my top ex, and we were looking at that. Give me a sec. Okay, so I had to look. So her exes, which apparently is the right way to do it, her exes go bottom right, top left. Where my top stitch goes bottom left, top right. So, and I don't know because I'm left-handed, so I don't know. Okay, look at me. I done left my crown up here. Excuse me. I'm not blind, but I can see better when I have my magnifier on. Excuse me. So, anyways, not to keep going on and on and on. I don't know who wins that, but I'm right. She's right. We're all right. But I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed that's why I stitch that way, because another one of the girls in the group is left-handed and she stitches the way Steph stitches. So anyways, I don't think there's a right or wrong way, but apparently the way I stitch it is the weird way, the wrong way. So you let me know below what you think. And whatever it is. I'm always going to say I'm different, so I'm happy with that. But stitching on that is a challenge for me because I have to, and even though they say, well, just leave it like that, it's fine. No, I am trying to stitch that way so that all the stitches look the same because I am OCD and I cannot have I cannot have half of that chart stitch one way and stitch the other way because it might look lopsided. So let's not do that. Okay. All right. So gonna finish up. Look at that. Almost 30 minutes. I love it. I love to keep my videos short. I'm going to show you. Well, I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I did mention that I am going to the library. I did find there's a library in Valrico, which is about an hour and 10 minutes away from me. And there's a group of stitchers that meet there, and it's great. There's about 14 of them that have shown up the last 2 times I've been there. I'm going to miss them this week. They meet the second Saturday of each month. But unfortunately, the next time we're going to stitch at the library is this coming Saturday, which is April 11th. And I won't be there. I have to travel to Indianapolis for a work conference. Yay. I do love to travel. I like to travel and get away and just be away from the office for 5 days is great. So anyways, unfortunately, I'm going to miss them this month. But one of my friends there, Kathleen, I've known her. I met her last year at one of the retreats, and it's been nice to kind of catch up with her. She comes to the library, and we were looking at a retreat that's coming up in May in Leesburg. And so we signed up for it, and I thought, oh, yay, we're going to go to a retreat. She's going to go to FAST. FAST is Friends All Stitching Together, and that is hosted by Crafty Framers, who is an LNS in Largo. So I got her to sign up for FAST. I said, hey, you come to FAST with me, and I will go to the retreat in May. So more information on that. I know it's in Leesburg. I forget what it's called, but there's a store in that area who is owned by Gary Sly. It's called Orts something. So I'm sorry I don't have that information. If you have questions, let me know. But he also does a one-day retreat, and he does it like every couple months. So that will be my first time going there, so it'll be really nice. But Kathleen also told me when we were at the last library stitch that she's going to be stitching Glendale's Place, the ship. I don't have it because I haven't bought it, but it's, if you've seen the Glendale Place, not fish, ship. It's that big black ship, and it's kind of not patriotic, but ahoy matey, what's pirate, the pirate ship. Um, so she was telling me she's going to stitch on that. And I may have to hop on that ship and stitch with her. So look out. I may be doing that. See, friends just enable me all the time. And I just have to start everything. So anyway, so I've got some plans coming up with that. I am looking for more groups, but I'm also trying to find a day that I can sit at my local Panera Bread and just stitch and see if I can attract individuals. I did talk to somebody recently that says that there's a group that meets here in my area, but they meet like at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. I don't know where that group is. But, because I can't stitch with them, I haven't looked more into that. I want to make a group here in my town where we would meet either on a Saturday or Sunday, preferably a Saturday so that we can go to the library. So that's one of the things that I'm really trying to do is to just put myself out there again. I tried this back in 2022 when I first started stitching. Didn't get any hits from that, but I am going to create a flyer and hopefully post that on our Facebook page for the town, and hopefully people will come out. But I will start when I get some free time. I'm going to start sitting at the Panera Bread on a Sunday afternoon, spend 2 hours there, and hopefully people will come up and talk to me. I've done a lot of going back and forth with different people in different groups, and so I've gotten a lot of good ideas on how to go about that and how to start that, because although I enjoy driving an hour, 2 hours to stitch with these groups, I want to have at least one day of the month where, or a couple days a month that I can meet with stitchers here. So that's going to be in the works. But in the meantime, I'll go stitch wherever. As long as it's not more than 2 hours, I'm good to go. As far as my challenges, if you've been watching me, following along, I do try to participate in challenges by different groups. Laura, who's Stitching by the Shore, she does I Spy, which I love to do that because she'll give you a prompt and then you just pick something that matches that prompt. Then there's a couple groups that do acrostics. There's monthly magazine challenge. There's Beth, who is the Crafts and Books. She's actually the steadfast stitcher, but she has a Facebook group called Crafts and Books, and so she does an acrostic every month. So I've tried to do a little bit of these different challenges, but I decided last month that I'm done doing challenges. I'm done. Not that I don't like them. And here's the thing, when I do challenges, if you've been watching my channel along, I don't pick whips for each word or each letter or prompt. I stitch on something and then I find a way to put it in the prompt. And I created a spreadsheet where I keep all the different things, all the different challenges. And I say, I can have my computer on. When I get done stitching, I'll just figure out where I can fit it. Well, that's great, but I find myself spending more time doing that than actually stitching and just stitching whatever. So I'm going back to just stitch what I want, when I want, also known as sweewee. I've heard people say sweewee. So stitch what I want when I want. So I'm kind of going to get away from the challenges because keeping track of things is one thing, but keeping track of all these challenges and stuff is just like, ah. So gonna stop that for now. I do have a whip goal board. That's another thing. I have not done good with that. I started out great in January. February came and done. So no challenges for me for now. I'm just gonna stitch. I'm going to participate in SALs, also known as SALs. Stitch along, start along. It's more of a start along with me. Like I said, these Discord girls, they will make you start everything. And I love it, but trying to keep track of everything can just be too overwhelming. So we're done with that, okay? But if you have any questions or you want me to share any ideas or anything, feel free to reach out to me. Joanne the Eclectic Stitcher at Gmail, Joanne the Eclectic Stitcher on Instagram, or just comment below. So anyways, all is that with that. Plans. So now let me just show you real quick before we leave. Let me show you my haul. Now you guys know that Denise, who is Dot Dot Goose, she's my dear friend. And she's the one that runs the Discord group. And so she makes bags. A lot of you know her as Dot Dot Goose Design. She makes bags. And I bought this bag from her last month. Now this is a special bag that she makes for our Discord group. We call this the Discord bag. And I just think this is the cutest bag. Look at those tomatoes. They are tomatoes, right? Yeah, tomatoes. So I got this in the mail a couple weeks ago and I love it. It's so good. And along with that, she makes pals. Look at that. So this pal came with it. And so I'm starting to really use these for smaller projects, projects that have not so much smaller projects, but projects that have 5 flosses or less. Rather than put them on making floss cards on it, I just like to stick them on this thing and go. So I'm starting to use these. I always told myself, oh, I don't use those things. I don't need them. I do my own floss cards. Well, I found it to be very handy to use those for those smaller projects. So that's one of my hauls. I'm going to call that a haul because I did bought that from her. And then this is Happy Mail. This is what, so a few weeks ago, I won a giveaway on a FlossTube channel, and this is from Susie and Christy, who are the happiest stitchers on earth. Now, Susie lives in Florida, and she also goes to the library where I stitch. And so her and I have met at the library. We've met at retreats, and so it's kind of great to talk with her. She's great. Her friend Christy lives in Indiana, and so they do a FlossTube together. And so I won a giveaway, and these sweet ladies, I got it in the mail today, so I've only had it for maybe 3 hours, and I've been just loving on it. But this card came in there, and this card was done by Christy, and I found out from Susie that she draws, and she did this card. Is that not the cutest card ever? I love that. And I told Christy that, not Christy, I told Susie, I says, I think I'm gonna cut around here, and I'm actually gonna turn this guy into a floss ring label. I'm going to cut him out. I'm going to laminate him, and he's going to become a floss tag for me. And I think the best whip that I can put him in is my red bunny sampler. So I love it. I love it. They wrote a little note there. So sweet. So what did I win? Well, let me show you. I won a piece of fabric. This is 32 count Lugana by Swigert, and the color is Blush. It's a fat quarter. I don't know if you can see the color or not. It's a very pink. Let me see. It's very pink. Let me see. Maybe you can see it, but it's pink. It's called Blush, and it's beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I stitch on Lugana. I haven't done a lot of 32 counts. I think I've done maybe one small project on 32. I am more of a 25 count 1/1 or 2/2, 25 count and 28. So I'm excited about that. And then I just got a bunch of charts. I got this It's a set, and I don't know how many of these are. I think Susie said there may be 6 or 9. Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is the Christmas market. And so there was 4 charts that they sent me, which are really cute. You got the ornament stand, the stocking stand, Christmas market, banner, and then Christmas cake stand. So it's these cute little charts, and I thought this is great. They're so cute. So I got those. And then I got a chart by Ink Circled called Forget Me Not. Is that not the cutest? Look at that. That elephant. And then I got Animal Crackers Lily. Now I know that the Animal Crackers is a very popular series. I do not own any Animal Crackers, so I was really excited to get this. I don't know that I'm a lover of the Animal Crackers. There are some cute ones on there. I think Lily is really cute, so I am looking forward to stitching her. And there's a couple out there that I think are cute. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I received, this is by Tiny Modernist, and this is a snow globe series. So this was, I guess there's a 6-part series, and this is part 6, which is Winter Forest. Now, if some of you who've been following me for a long time know that Tiny Modernist is one of my favorite designers, so I am excited about that. That owl is so cute. I love anything owl. So that's really cute. I love, love, love Tiny Modernist. And then this last chart was actually a gift from a friend, my dear friend Becky. She's one of my Discord friends, and it's so nice because Becky lives in Wisconsin or Missouri. I forget which state, but she also has a house in Florida. And so she came down, and we got to meet in person and got to hang out. And one of the things that she gave me, she's stitching on this chart called Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. And guess what? I got a chart. I got the Let Freedom Ring. This is so beautiful. I got to see hers in person, and she stitches on linen. I am probably going to stitch this on a linen. Really looking something for more like a beigey or like a vintage country mocha. I think would look really cute. I am going to actually try to get this kitted up. It is a big piece. I said to myself, I don't know that I would stitch that, but let me tell you, Becky is stitching on it. I've seen hers in person. It's beautiful. One of the other ladies in the group, Kathy, she's also stitching on it. And she recently finished the building. And so it just looks so pretty. And I like patriotic things, and I'm looking forward to stitching this. When? I don't know. I am going to get it kitted up, and so hopefully I'll get it started here in the next couple of weeks, just because I'm being told that I need to start it. So yeah. So those are my oh, wait, I got to show you something else too. Okay, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm done talking because now we're at almost 45 minutes, and it's getting too long. And I know a lot of you's got to go to other FlossTubers because I know I have to catch up. So I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to show you this last thing because I was so excited to get this. But my friend Becky had an extra stand, and she shared this with me. She said I could have it. And this is like the most coolest thing ever. There's a lot of knobs and twists and this and that. So this is a Nerge brand stand. But the coolest thing about this is that her husband, so apparently, oh my goodness, names. Helen D. Y'all know who Helen D is. So apparently, Becky's husband turned this into the same way apparently that Helen D has it, where basically he took this off the stand. You see how it's swiveling? He put a screw there, and I love this because I can move it around. I can use my nerd, or I don't use nerd tubes, I use Q-snaps, and the Q-snap fits perfectly in here. I can put it under my legs and do it with the chair, under my legs and have it up close. I can put it, I love this thing. And I love that it's so small that I can actually take it with me on trips. I was out of town this past week for a day at a work conference or work training and was able to take this where all I had to do was take this screw out of here, put this in a bag, lay this on top. Easy, quick setup. I have a stand that I purchased 4 or 5 years ago at Michael's. It's a floor stand, and that's usually what goes with me on trips. But now I have this little guy here, and I love it. So anyway, so that was also happy mail from my friend Becky that I love so much because she just spoiled me with that. So great friends, great things, and I'm just excited. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start because if not, I'll never shut up. So thank you so much for coming here and visiting with me. If you've made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or come to Discord. I will link below. All you have to do is go to her channel, look at her show notes. She will have the link to Discord. Just come on in. You'll find me. You'll see on there. So on Discord, my name on Discord is Joanne's Fabric. But I also have my name as Joanne from Florida in parentheses. But if you're on Discord and you see Joanne's Fabric, you come on in and say hello. Although it is Easter time, and sometimes we come up with unique names to give ourselves. So if you come in the next month, it's going to say floppy chicken. Don't ask. You want to know? You want to find out? Come see us on Discord. So floppy chicken, Joanne Fabric in parentheses. That's me. And there's a picture of a gator on there. So there's not a picture of me on there. It's a alligator. You want to know about that? You want to know stories? You want to know the all behind the scenes? Come visit. Come say hello. Come chat. I am usually in Discord Monday through Friday from 6:30 p.m. till about 10 p.m. So I come and go during those hours, or I just stay the whole time. And then on the weekends, I'm on there whenever. See, when I get done and hit stop here, I'm going to go to Discord and I'm going to go stitch. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. Okay. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Happy stitching. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.